Hello there everyone, today we're gonna do this. This is a fly I saw from another YouTube channel, a really cool one that's called Fly Fish Food. It's called Rainbow Warrior, but I'm doing this in a bit of a variation of their fly. Their fly is fairly small and also very heavy with a tungsten bead. I'm gonna do it a bit larger so it can be used also for actively retrieving and not just only fishing upstream. So here in the vise I'm gonna add an Arix curved nymph in size 8, and it's a decent size for making a trout fly in general, I think. And this will be particularly suited for reservoir rainbows and stuff like that also. So I've added a small bead to the hook here in silver. And then it's a fairly straightforward, fairly simple pattern, but it just really looks awesome. And the guys from Fly Fish Food, where I saw this, really are doing some cool stuff. And I was listening to their podcast, which is awesome. Someone is doing a podcast about fly fishing, and they talked a lot about this fly and how it was one of the guys at Fly Fishing Food's first commercial available fly and stuff like that. And they sold a ton of it. So I thought I'd give it a go, and it really looks awesome. So basically, yeah, we're off to doing this. Just gonna see if I need to add a bit more light here. Maybe that would work. So I've added a tail here, and that should not be too long. And I made it from the center feather from a pheasant. Just a small amount of tails there. And I'm gonna use the tying thread I'm not gonna cut this off because we want to have a body that tapers. So basically like this. And then we need to add the body. And for this we're gonna have a body made from mylar tinsel, from opal mylar tinsel. So I'm just gonna, I had a small accident with the spool here before. So this is, this is quite a mess, but we're gonna manage. I'm going to take this and tie it on there. Just going to add it all the way down so that the body is going to continue to be even, like this. And then because I want this to taper a bit, on the original pattern that was so small that basically what happened was they just turned the mylar on. But I'm gonna have this taper a bit, so I'm gonna take a small amount of the dubbing that we're gonna use for the thorax as well. This is Sow Scud dub from Websy with in the color rainbow. Pretty awesome color for things like this. So basically I'm just gonna apply a small amount of dubbing to just gradually make this body here become a bit thicker towards the front of the fly here, like this. And with flies like these, what I always seem to think is the most crucial thing is to get this right, the property of this tapering, but also to leave enough room for the actual thorax. Oh, gonna cut that off. We don't need that anymore. And then I'm gonna turn this. And of course, what you want here is you want this to be turned as close to itself as possible. So you don't want any holes, any gaps in this. That will not look good. I'm gonna turn it. And what I did here was actually make this a bit longer than what I strictly needed, and that way I ensure that I will be able to have the. You need about at least a third of the body here should be left open for tying your thorax. So basically, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna double this. Because I'm using the medium, then and this hook size is a bit larger than what they used, I'm gonna have to double this. And then there was a strand that I kept also. So here is about 3, but 2 might do it and 4 might do it. You just have to have more than one for this to work. And here is also where I'm gonna change things up a bit again, because in the original pattern you just use some dubbing and bam, you're done. But I'm gonna add a hackle. I'm gonna add a partridge hackle because I think that looks cool and it gives a bit of life to how this will swim if it's a fly that you are fishing actively. So take a partridge feather, one of the grayish colors, and then basically I fold back all the fibers here, all the fibers of the hackle. So I get a hackle that looks like this, and then I'm gonna tie this on top of the hook, so that the front side of this is pointing downwards. Because when I turn this, then everything will be in the right place, and this will look very, very awesome and very cool, like this. And then we need some more of this sow scud dubbing to form the thorax, the wing case. This is some very easy to use dubbing, very easy to make a dubbing. I think they called it a dubbing noodle. I don't know what to call it, but a dubbing noodle is a pretty cool cool name for it. A bundle of dubbing that you just, you know, mash onto the thread, kind of like this. Yeah. So this needs to be more thick and more dense than the first part of the fly, because it needs to taper again, like this. Then I'm gonna take the hackle, and as you can see, I just fold it forward here. Hold some of the feathers back, and then I just tie it there. So it's completely on top now. I think I will have to do something like this. Then I'm gonna take my thorax, my tinsel, and I'm gonna fasten that on top of the hackle. So basically, you can see this, that the thorax, the flesh is in the middle, and then the hackles are on either side, are pointing out. This is going to be easier to see when I cut off the thorax and the hackle. So basically you have the flesh in the middle, and then you have the fibers from the partridge on each side. And what was also important, they said in the video, was that this fly has kind of small red hooking point up here in front, made from tying thread. So I'm gonna, of course I'm gonna leave that one there as well, which we have now. A small segment of tying thread in the red, and do the whip finish, cutting off the line here, and then I'm gonna brush a bit of the dubbing out, so it's not gonna be completely. It's gonna have a bit more fluffiness to it. I'm gonna fluff this bit up. So it's gonna be a bit more see-through. Well, as I said, this fly is very, very popular in the US, and the fly fishing guys from Fly Fishing Foods. If you haven't checked them out, then I urge you to do so. They seem like really, really cool guys. So I guess that's it. The Rainbow Warrior in a variation that I think will, at least for my fishing, will be better suited for the stuff that I'm doing. Not that I don't like the original, and go check that out from Fly Fish Food, but this is my take for the fishing that I'm doing. So thank you a lot for watching. You can of course buy the full material kits and stuff like that for this fly on my web shop. It's nordicanglers.com, and if you haven't subscribed already, then I would be very, very pleased if you would do so. Thank you for watching, and good luck out on the waters.